is to really kind of suspend, not merely disbelief, but suspend our judgment. Yeah, and we do. We plunge ourselves into the experience. But, I mean, we want to change with the cultural tides. The technology has changed, the culture has changed, we want to change with it. But
okay.
At some point, okay, how many seconds?
That's it.
All right, what I was going to say is,
that for your rebuttal.
What does it all add up to, is my question. What does it all add up to in the end?
Maybe Robert can answer that question. Robert, you have 2 minutes.
Lowbrow art isn't an art movement, it's a condition. It's a situation that's developed, and it's developed over a long, long period of time. Right after the Second World War, 2 art critics, a batch of art critics, specifically 2 art critics, Clement Greenberg and Harold Rosenberg, took it upon themselves to push Jackson Pollock and the loose style of abstract expressionism. And to do that, to get that over with the American public and the collectors, they had to insinuate and infer that people that depended on representational art were a little retarded. That true expression was a full understanding of non-objective abstract art. Now, I am not against any kind of art form at all, and I would come to the aid of any of my old abstract expressionist friends. But when you have one fucking idiom take over and dominate, right, one after another after another,
yeah, like pop surrealism.
You're on your own right now. You go to pop art, you go to minimalism, conceptualism, one thing after another, it's totally dominant. There's nothing wrong with any of them other than they become fucking absolutisms. You need, instead of 4 or 5 isms, you need like maybe 12 goddamn different things. You know? So that's where the problem lies. You know, it's a situation that you know, being an artist is really tough. It is really fucking brutal way to make a living. Let me tell you, I never encourage young people to be an artist.
All right.
Talk to them, but
Hold that thought.
Recruit people.
Your 2 minutes are up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold that thought. Gene, you have 2-minute rebuttal.
Okay, first of all, let's first note for the record that lowbrow, so to speak, the genre, is a fixture in the contemporary art world. So set that right alongside your Clement Greenberg and Jackson Pollock and Mark Rothko, what have you. The other thing that I would point out is that I think your, Mr. Williams, own comments illustrate lowbrow's inherent deficiencies, as well as highbrow aspirations. If we could just examine the phrase cartoon tainted abstract surrealism.
Are you bored?
Now what about your art is a taint, I would ask, number one. I would see that as a negative. Number 2, there is the insertion for all your disparagement of abstract expressionism and that style, and that dominance, that cultural dominance, which was for a brief period ascendant. Nevertheless, abstract surrealism, you have invoked this. You have invoked it for a good reason, because it represents, yeah, that too. It represents a kind of higher aspiration for the kind of art that you are making, which is not simply lowbrow, but something that goes well beyond that. And that, I would say, is where lowbrow aspires to highbrow, and that is where all good things begin. I mean, reading that phrase, I mean, when I read that phrase for the first time, what I was thinking about, like, well, what does that mean? I'm thinking like, you know, Yves Tanguy or Juan Miro filtered through like Felix the Cat or Crazy Cat. You know, this is a good thing. I'm thinking like, I'm getting enthused about this. You know, but, you know, all of it points towards an ambition, an intellectual ambition, a thoughtful processing of imagery, of influences, and the entire high art domain. So it's, this is not a bad thing. And I would argue that after 20 or 30 years of lowered expectations universally in this culture, it is a very necessary thing.
Okay, Robert,
Well, Ezra,
you have a
I
minute.
appreciate your remarks. You failed to grasp one situation that is common to me. I'm just a bad person. I'm not coming to the table with a bunch of virtue here. I'm just another artist trying to weenie my way through life. Great. I mean, there is no bad art. Bad art is when it falls over and kills you, or it's some kind of conceptual trying to get you to take a cyanide enema or something. That's bad art. Wide open. And I'm just a questionable person. I'm a questionable sorry. I'm probably the only person who owns the damn time.
All right.
I'm indefensible. These guys are absolutely indefensible. They're right. I have no position to stand on. I do this shitty bad art.
All right, Ezra, you have a minute.
Well, let me concede that you have a lot to stand on. You have your work, and you have your magazine, and you are sailing the crest of quite the tide. However, I would say that that tide is not always a pleasure to ride that wild surf. No. Nevertheless, let's just say that, we can respect that, like, the highbrow is nourished by the lowbrow. But, there's a difference between that and simply pandering to the lowest common denominator. Finally, what I would say is that, I would offer to you, or to lowbrow in general, what's wrong with the real thing, the raw thing, the thing itself, and to get conceptual on your asses, children. The idea. What's wrong with that? Just to either leave it alone or to take it somewhere else. Take it to a newer, higher, very thought out place. That is highbrow.
All right, we have a 30-second closing statement from Robert.
Is there a repair? Put my head I don't know, what can I tell you? I don't follow virtuosity, I follow compulsion. I'm a phony here because I've got a New York gallery. Yeah, I worked hard to get that New York gallery. I'm in question every minute there. I'm the poor turd that has to catch all the errors in New York, so other people can follow me through. They eat my ass in New York.
Okay, 30 seconds from Ezra.
We all work hard. We all work hard for the money. We all work hard for the glory. But for the highbrow, for the true highbrow, it's really not about the glory. It's really not about the money. It's not about the casually tossed off. It's about something that's really thought out. It's about the carefully observed and the making it the best it can be. And, instead of putting a guilt frame around kitsch, to look for that special thing, the masterpiece, the highest possible standard. All right, that's a second step.
Longer, but it's voting time. Robert Williams, let's give it up for Robert. Ezra G. Robert, the winner. Ezra G. with the almost.
Mother.